Everyone, I'm Sue from Sue O'Very Designs, where I bring you fast, fun, and adorable projects. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to embroider on 2 different styles of baby pillows from All About Blanks. And a big shout out to my sponsor for this video, All About Blanks, your place for blanks. The 2 different style of pillowcases that I'm going to teach you how to embroider on today use pretty much the same basic principles. However, they are going to be hooped completely different because of the way they are constructed. You are going to do a little bit of sewing at the very end to finalize your baby pillowcases. The 2 styles of pillowcases I'm going to share with you today are the Hemstitched baby pillowcase and the Swiss Dot baby pillow Sham. And in the description below you can get all of your materials, plus I've included timestamps so that you can fast forward to the exact pillowcase that you want to learn how to embroider. So grab your machine and let's get stitching. You're going to need your ironing board and an iron, your pillow form, whichever pillowcase you'd like, wash away stabilizer, your hoop and your design, your sewing foot and your machine embroidery presser foot. You'll also need some embroidery thread, sewing thread, and a bobbin. A way to mark your embroidery, I used a marking sticker, seam ripper, Duckbill applique scissors, and embroidery needle. For the first part of this video, I'm going to demonstrate the Hemstitched baby pillowcase. Go ahead and give your pillowcase a nice good press with lots of steam. Once pressing is finished, it's time to find the embroidery placement, and all we're going to do is find the center of the actual embroidery area and use a marking sticker. You can also use a marking pen if you choose. I kind of like the stickers because it doesn't leave any residue and there are no marks to get rid of later on. This is a clear one that you can actually see right where your positioning is. Next thing we need to do is remove the bottom seam, and we're just going to use a seam ripper and gently remove the stitching all the way along that bottom seam of your pillowcase. Be real careful not to cut the actual material and just take your time. Once you've removed all the stitches, you can remove all those little thread tails if you'd like. You can also do that later on in the project. And now it's time to go ahead and hoop our material. Now that the pillowcase is completely open, it's a lot easier to hoop this pillowcase. Find the center of where you want your embroidery to be placed there, put the bottom hoop on, and I just gently put the top hoop inside, and you see how it left a mark there? It makes hooping really easy later. Now we're going to place that wash away stabilizer over top of the bottom hoop and replace the top of the pillowcase. Insert the top hoop, get it nice and positioned to where you want it, and tighten the screw. Next, it's time to set your machine up. Get your embroidery thread, your bobbin, your embroidery needle, and of course your embroidery presser foot. Make sure you choose your design and follow the settings on your embroidery machine. But for me, I am going to need to adjust the design placement just slightly so that the center of the design is in fact in the center of my hooping. And make sure you have the design in the correct direction too. Just keep these things in mind. Adjust your placement until the needle goes right in the center of that placement sticker, and then you can remove that sticker and start embroidering. As you're stitching, just keep in mind that you want to make sure that none of the materials, that pillowcase or even the stabilizer, are going to get caught underneath the presser foot or underneath the hoop. That's kind of the beauty of this particular pillowcase, that you can remove that seam and open it up nice and flat. It makes for stitching super easy and you get professional results. When you're finished with your embroidery design, go ahead and clip all your extra threads, remove the hoop from the machine, and let's check out that design. Oh, and very nice, we don't have any of our materials stuck underneath the hoop. And there we go. Now it's time to remove the hoop from the material. You can gently loosen the screw and pop out the top hoop and put your hoop to the side for right now. We are going to want to remove as much of that wash away stabilizer as we can before we do it under the water. So the best way to do that is to use the applique scissors. Now I prefer the Duckbill applique scissors because I can be really confident that I'm not going to accidentally cut my fabric. So I do cut just to get it started, but then the Duckbill will go closest against the material. So in this case, the Duckbill will be between the wash away and closest to the pillowcase. And you'll notice that I can cut around that material and the wash away with ease and confidence that I'm not going to accidentally cut my actual pillowcase. Now it's time to sew up that original seam that we ripped out. So set your machine up with regular sewing thread and a standard presser foot. Make sure that you open up the seam allowance where it originally was and don't accidentally sew over the folded seam allowance. If you really wanted to, you could also press the seam flat just to kind of give you a little extra confidence. You could even use straight pins or wonder clips if you really wanted to, but it's a really tiny, about 1/4 inch seam allowance, so I felt confident with this. If you wanted to take it one step further, you could even serge that seam. When you're finished sewing, you're going to cut your threads and we're going to go to the sink. Now I do use a lukewarm water and just gently massage the wrong side of the embroidery, which is where that stabilizer is going to be closest to. Then I simply throw it in my dryer, and once it's dried, we're going to go ahead and give it a good press. Definitely use steam and just take your time making sure that the linen gets really nice and pressed, and it'll be beautiful and crisp. Turn your pillowcase right side out, and you can do a little extra pressing here as well. If you want to use a point turner on those corners, you can absolutely do that. But make sure you use a nice cotton linen setting with lots of steam to get that as flat as possible. And now it's time to insert our pillow form. Take your pillow and go all the way to the other side, press it flat, and if you want, you can go ahead and remove that tag as well. And there you go. And the next pillowcase is going to be the Swiss Dot Baby Pillow Sham. Same steps, we're going to go ahead and give our pillow sham a nice good pressing and find the center, mark it. And this one we're going to be removing 2 seams across the top and the bottom. I went ahead and removed a lot of the seam. This way the pillow sham can lay completely flat. Same steps. In fact, this one's even easier. We're going to place that wash away stabilizer in between the bottom hoop and the pillowcase, insert our top hoop, get it all nice and in place, and of course make sure you tighten that screw to where you're comfortable. And now we're going to find the center of our design on our embroidery machine, stitch it up, and when you're finished embroidering your design, same thing as before, you're going to remove your hoop. Use those Duckbill applique scissors to cut all the way around. You'll notice again, I can cut with confidence and ease using the Duckbill applique scissors. And once all of the wash away stabilizer has been removed, close the back portion of the pillow sham, and we're going to, with a regular sewing machine, stitch the top and bottom seams up again. Now you can go ahead and wash away that stabilizer and throw it in the dryer for a quick drying, and now it is time to press your pillow sham. Make sure you use lots of steam in a high linen cotton setting. Then insert your pillow form into the pillow sham, get it in there nice and smooth, and then fluff it up. You can mush it back and forth to give it nice fluffiness. And there you are. Your baby pillow sham is all finished. And there you have it, 2 beautiful machine embroidery pillowcases for the baby in your life or the baby to be coming soon, with 2 different techniques that you can use for all of the different pillowcases from All About Blanks. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do me a great big favor and give me a thumbs up. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can join my weekly newsletter. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram. And best of all, come join in on the fun over at my Facebook fan club page. You can find all the information in the description below. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a creative day. Bye-bye. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe below. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.